So thank you for joining us for this episode of Rhythms of the Goddess. I am Lisa Ware. I'm your host, and I'm really looking forward to being with you today just for a short moment, just to share with you a little bit about this ascension energy and all the things that are really bombarding our energy field right now. There's just a lot. And so I want to share with you from some of the people that I turn to when I'm looking to really raise up my vibration and my frequency, as well as some great resources that I utilize. And we're moving into the energy of 2020 already. So, as many of you, as empaths and light workers, may know, we are really receiving a lot of confusing and chaotic energy. And if you don't know how to manage your energy field very well, you can feel overwhelmed very easily. There's a lot of symptoms that happen as we're moving into this ascension. And ascension simply means that we, as a planetary being, as a collective consciousness with our Earth Mother, are simply raising up our frequencies. We are moving into this place of being in more alignment with the way that we are meant to move into, out of the old patriarchal ways and into the ways of the new age of Aquarius. And it's been happening slowly from 2012 as this shift has happened, but it's accelerating. And so many of you are very, very aware, let's just put it that way, of this acceleration. So I want to share with you a resource from one of my guides and mentors online, and her name is Sandra Walters. And she also wrote a new little ebook, which might be very helpful for you, that will help you align with the energies of 2020. And she just asked for a love donation for it. And it's at sandrawalter.com. So you can check that out. But she's talking a little bit about the energies that are thrusting us into this next level of embodiment, where our higher selves are really in constant communion with the lower awarenesses in our physical bodies. So the embodied state is a state of consciousness. It's a new way of operating in these realms. So we are really restructuring on a DNA level. And I know that if this is new information, it seems mind-blowing. Stay with me. So a lot of it manifests as physical detoxification. You may need to sleep a lot. You may be awake at really weird hours and not able to sleep. You may have a ringing in your ear that doesn't go away. You may have the sound of like a drumming in your ear that doesn't go away. There's so many things, so many ways that this restructuring of the DNA manifests. So as you align with it, you can actually almost feel it or hear it, and you just have to go with it. You can't fight it. And so relax into it. It's a natural process, and it's actually very comfortable. So as once we release the resistance, then we can actually be in the flow. And so there's some things that she was recommending on her website to do. Really cleanse your body of any kind of metals, any kind of liver cleanses that you might need to do a green juice detox and get your body back in alignment. That's one of the fastest ways, is utilizing the power of the plant world to restructurize our cells. So my husband was recently doing some research on becoming a vegetarian athlete, and he teaches yoga as well. And he was actually researching vegan athletes, and some of the most powerful and strongest athletes in the world have been completely plant-based. And if you think about some of the largest or the largest mammals on the planet, they are actually plant eaters. You know, you look at the elephants and the huge whales that eat the plankton, you know, and it's just crazy to think, okay, well, everything really boils down to eating plants anyway. So if you go straight to the source, you're getting that prana, that life force into your body. And so juicing is one of the fastest ways you can do that. I use Juice Plus as well, because it's encapsulated, dried, put into a capsule, and then you just take it. It's not altered from the source at all. So I love that. And it's been in my body for over 10 years. Another thing you can do is a water fast, and just a way to reset your cells. No food, no juice, just water, and it reactivates your light body. The emotional detox is a little bit denser because the emotional layer is a little bit harder to read for some of us that may not be as proficient or practiced. So you work on clearing old patterns, shedding fears, taking a delve into your child self and your inner child, and meeting that little girl, that little boy, and talking to her and having those conversations, because those little girls and little boys are still within us, and sometimes they get squelched by the evil parent or the mean parent, the berating parent or the critical parent, and the little one in us needs to be loved, and that emotional body needs to be healed. So I have recently been doing a broadcast on my SoundCloud, which is Lisa Ware Yoga for Love. It's a 21-day mirror work, and it has been so transformational for my own health, for my own mental health, for my own well-being. Things that I didn't even know were still in there that wanted to be healed. So that's something that you can do, and it creates a lot more balance in our being. Creating a mental detox. So checking in with the unity consciousness. Everything that you see, feel, hear, this information is things that you're pulling into because you're attracted to it. You're attracting it like the law of attraction. And so we have a choice on what we can focus on. So directing our thought patterns to what we desire, being peaceful, unifying practices. If you feel yourself scattered, start some practices to come back to yourself. I have some master classes that I recently recorded, and they will be up on my YouTube channel very soon. Right now, they're on my Facebook page, Lisa Ware Yoga for Love business page, and you can find those for free, talking about the very necessary go-tos for your morning practice, for your evening practice, and things that you can do to reset your energy and stay in that highest vibration. Also, decluttering your space, clearing your space. So several years ago, we had a major house fire and all of our material goods were eliminated. Now, we did receive some of them back because they got cleaned, but majority of the things that were tactiles or anything that had any plastics, were all completely ruined. And so having that complete reset was very interesting. It was very chaotic, but at the same time, it allowed us a complete reset. So let me give you the example, like right now in this energy, my Christmas tree. And for years, as my kids were little and as I grew up, we had the same ornaments because they were traditional. And, we had them since we were kids. And I felt this connection to want to or have to use these traditional ornaments for the tree, even though I saw trees like at Hobby Lobby and in the mall. They were just so beautiful and they were really simple and had like a theme. I was like, well, I've got my traditional tree, so that's what I'm going to do. And I grew up with a traditional tree, so I just did the same thing. But since all of the ornaments and everything were destroyed in the fire, I got to have a complete reset. And now I don't have any attachments to what's on my tree. I'm able to just really go with something that I think is really lovely and really beautiful and makes me happy. And I can change the color theme every year and change out the different ornaments every year. So on a bigger level, if you think about that in your life, even just in your closet, if you bring something new in, let something else go. And if you haven't ever done a purge, even call a friend and help you. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just to have bins or trash bags or boxes, and you label one keep, one question mark go through later, and one donate. And so everything goes into a box. Like there's absolutely no negotiation. The go through later, if you're having a hard time putting too many things in there, you're going to have a friend help you. But you don't have a box for storage because there's no reason to have a storage if you're not using it immediately and you don't have an immediate use for it, then someone else can use it. And so clear your space. One other thing you can do is use crystals and sacred tools to help you clear your own personal energy and clear your room. Smudging and saging is one of the fastest and easiest ways. Sound healing is also very supportive for clearing your space and creating that place where you need to do your work. And it's very hard to do your work in a chaotic space. Another thing you can do to really bring your energy into your physical being and get very into your body is to utilize the physical practices of yoga and sacred dance, conscious music, and bring yourself into your body. A lot of people also utilize meditation, swimming, flowing movement, creative play, quiet time, unity meditations, continuing to really elevate our energies. And of course, being in nature, which I talked about in my masterclass in depth. So we want to just really just tap into those higher frequencies and stay there. You can also fan the fire by staying calm and balanced and open to the higher reality. Another thing to do is get quality sleep. It's very, very important right now. The dream state is really, really busy, and a lot of us are having very, very lucid dreams. Honor that. I'm in the point where I don't even have to journal about it. It just comes in, and it comes in so fast that I can't even remember it. But sometimes you just don't need to. You just utilize that for what it is. Sometimes you can remember it, sometimes you can't, but sleeping is super, super important. You might be sleeping at weird hours, and that's okay. Just sleep when you need to and honor that. Hydration is very, very important as well, and using water as a sacred tool. If any of you saw the new Frozen, I love that movie. It has so much symbolism in there about water. Um, Definitely some writers in that field are very awake and kind of weaving in some of those ancient teachings. And it's talking about how water has memory, and water does have memory, and our DNA swims in water. Our cells receive information through it. We need to drink plenty of water. We will activate the water by blessing it. And so everything is energy. And by sending a blessing or a mantra or a prayer or a sacred symbol into your water, or even drawing a sacred symbol on your water bottle, or putting a sticker of a sacred symbol on your water bottle, or putting a positive word on your water bottle and drinking it, it will shift the frequency of your water. If you think that's crazy, look up the work of Dr. Emoto. And he, years and years and years ago, did so much studying and actually taking molecular pictures of the water when you have like heavy metal and also rap and really low vibration music. And then you compare it to classical music and saying mantra over the water, the crystalline structure of the water actually changes. And so that will change when you drink it. So pray over your food, pray over your water, it shifts it. Doing your meditations is another thing that's super important, and really activating your pineal gland. This crystalline DNA is happening. It's restructuring the levels of our light intelligence. It's giving us pure conscious information. It's giving us downloads. And so staying clean and clear in your work and in your thoughts is so important. And if you have a lot of trouble staying on point, put an alarm in your phone and set your intention to pause and breathe. You can place your hands on your heart to center yourself, is one of the things that she suggested, and just to stay in your highest intention. So a lot of people put in a little alarm on their phone just to make sure that you're tapping back in and staying in alignment. And detoxify your language. Speak your communication of mastery. Your vibration will match your light signature as you move into your higher consciousness. Just helping to amplify what your words are. And I've been working with that with my teenage daughter, which is a trial to say the least. But when you're working with your language and you're speaking your truth with loving kindness and with compassion, and you're also teaching others to speak to you that way because you're setting healthy boundaries, it creates a whole different energy within your family world and within your co-working world. So you want to catch yourself when you have these negative habits. You can flip the language right in that moment. Avoid that negative self-talk. And that's where that mirror work comes in so greatly, to realign that negative self-talk that we sometimes don't even know is there. You can really start communicating in a heart-based way. As we are entering into the season of family and friends and celebration and the holidays in this current moment, you will be also with a lot of people. most likely. And in that instance, you have a choice to participate in a conversation, and you have a choice to walk away. And there are many, many, many times that I walk away from conversations within my own family because the vibration is so low, and it's grating and irritating to me to hear people speak of other people or negatively. And instead of causing a disruption and causing a fight, just walk away. And you don't need to explain yourself. You have the opportunity to love them, but you also have the opportunity to love them from a distance. So I'm hoping these things have helped you. Um, Another resource that I love to use is called the Power Path. And the Power Path is a shamanic healing website, and they have a theme for every month, which is super cool. I'm going to pull that up for you here. And then I also have recently found a website from this guy called Lee Harris. And so quickly, I'll share with you a little bit about what Lee does. He has a YouTube channel that's been pretty cool. And his basic energetic breakdown for the month of December is saying that the energetics are hollow. It can lead you to feeling distracted. It can lead you feeling like you're just in suspension, as if nothing has happened or as everything is stopped. But this is a cocoon phase. So just be reassured that that's okay. Like I was saying at the beginning, go with that energy, allow yourself to move with it and not resist it, and realize you're cocooning up and kind of burrowing in like a bear, and everything will come together. So in month 1 of a 12-month phase, it's about shifting and living our purpose. So in 2020, his prediction is that it will be strong, bright, and full of clarity. And it's surrendering to emotion by allowing the emotion to have the ability to process, to use our psychic strength on so many levels. And that 2020 energy is already coming in. It's a new decade, it's a new level of optimism. What he was stating is that it's a new level of connection to everything that you're doing and seeing in the world. And it's also this very deep feeling of strength. So perhaps a strength that feels new or something that you've been missing. And so if you haven't already begun, it will start to hit you in December. And as we move into this next cycle, it's very important just to take some time to really, sit with that and take extra time to read, be in nature. There's just so many things that you can do to reset yourself. And so I'm going to bring to you the forecast for the Power Path. And this is the one I'm going to pull up for you here as I just share with you a little bit about these tools from the December forecast. So this is thepowerpath.com, and I love this newsletter. I've been getting it for many years. It's very shamanic based, so that really resonates with me as far as my practices and my teachings, and as very indigenous and very much in alignment with the rhythms of the current energy. So December means get it prepared and be prepared. And so really, I've been doing, and that's so resonating so much with me. It feels like once I plan something out and prepare it, then it frees up my energy. Like I don't have to spend any thought spinning to think about, oh, I have to remember that, I have to remember that, or I have to do this, I have to do this, and you're trying to use brain space to remember to do things. When you actually sit down and actually plan it out and just get it done, put it in the calendar, whatever it is, take that little bit of time. For me, it's planning ahead for my my posting, planning ahead for my emails, planning ahead for what's coming up for my trainings online, for my yoga teachers, for my retreats. And if I get all this in the calendar and I know what I'm doing, when I have a daily plan, then it frees up all this bandwidth in my brain. So if you are going on a trip, for instance, if you have one suitcase to pack, what do you truly need? So think about everything as you're preparing and just putting it all together. And so this is something that you can focus on in this next coming month, is to just really sit with that moment of, okay, I'm going to carve out 20 minutes here or 5 minutes here. And then the rest of your day seems so much more open. I've had this massive amount of time that has been freed up. And it's like the time space continuum is very malleable at this stage in our being. And if you haven't yet found that, I invite you to tap into that, because time and space is no longer seeming to be as linear as it was, as structured as it was before. And it's pretty cool, because some activities take a really, really long time and it feels like it did and it was only like 5 minutes. Or some activities, that you're really ingrained in and really focused on, and it's like, oh my gosh, I only spent 30 minutes doing that, and look what I accomplished. And then all of a sudden you look up and it's a couple hours that you're just completely embodied in this activity. So that's happening. Again, the reiteration of clearing out your physical clutter from this particular teaching in the Power Path is storage closets, basements, attics, full of things that you haven't looked at in years. Make time to clear that. First of all, you might discover treasures that you might enjoy having in your life. And then if it doesn't bring you joy, you pick it up and it doesn't bring you joy, and you're feeling that you need to keep it for sentimental reasons or just because, that's the time to say, hey, someone else can use this. This is a great place to pay this forward and make space in your home. As also clearing your mental and emotional clutter. Another reiteration here: don't worry about things you can't control or that have not happened yet. So anxiety has to do with being stuck in the future. Depression has to do with being stuck in the past. So do whatever you can to make yourself active now in your present moment. That is when you have your power. And so do it now means being prepared and not procrastinating. And this will relieve yourself and you'll become more and more free and create more and more space for this transition into the unknown future. So there is also the importance of the psychological and the spiritual preparation. It's subtle, but also decluttering in this suggestion is all about beliefs. So there might be beliefs that you have thought for a long time, and a belief is really something you've just repeated over and over and over in your mind. It doesn't necessarily mean it's real. So that might be mind blow. But honestly, a lot of our beliefs are very much not based in reality. They're based in someone else's paradigm, and we've chosen to repeat them, and they don't serve us any good anymore. So write down what you're saying in your mind. One of the exercises that Louise L. Hay does in Heal Your Life, and that's one of the most amazing transformative books, if you don't have it, is Louise L. Hay's Heal Your Life. And she talks about writing everything you think for a day. And of course, there's 90,000 thoughts going through our mind, and we can't remember all of them, but the ones that stand out, write those thoughts, and you'll see how many of them have those old beliefs attached to them. Some of them even started when we were 5, and they're so not applicable right now, but we need to be aware of them so we can heal them and declutter them. So we really just can't know everything about the future. And so again, just strategies that have worked in the past may not be strategies that work now. So think about, just anything can be possible. Follow your truth, follow your instincts, use your intuition, get prepared and be prepared, because anything really is possible. So I'm available for you. If you have questions, you can always message me on Instagram at Yoga for Love Lisa with the number 4, or you can comment here in the YouTube video, or you can message me on Facebook at Lisa Ware Yoga for Love. I'm happy to do a card reading for you if you need some navigation tools, if you need some more direction, and or an angel card reading or a shamanic clearing. So there's lots of different tools that we can use and partner together as sisters as we move into this highest ascension and move into our place of alignment with our highest source. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really pleased to be bringing you the rhythms of the goddess, and I will see you again next week.